This example for you is to see how you can make a glow around some of your objects in Painter. For that to happen, you have to have your object, or whatever it is you want the glow or the shadow on, up on a layer. For this example, I'm using a mosaic, and I need to get those tiles onto another layer. So to do that, I'm going to go back into my Make Mosaic dialog box. You can see I have tiles here. I'm going to choose the option of Render Tiles into Mask. And you'll see over here in the Channels palette, I get two masks that Painter creates for me to work with. I'll close that. Now, to be able to get those tiles, I have to copy them. So I'm going to say Load Selection, which is this bottom left icon, Load from Mosaic Mask. If you have more channels, you'll see more choices in here. So Mosaic Mask, say OK, and the marching ants appear. The next thing I'm going to do is copy them. I'll do a Command or Control C to copy. Now, once my marching ants are active again, I'm going to do a Control D, Control or Command D to deselect. And the next step will be Command or Control V, as in vapor, to paste. So you can now see it's created a layer in the Layers palette. I'm going to turn off the canvas so you can see that the tiles are in fact up on the layer. If I close the layer and open the canvas, you can still see that my mosaic is still intact, as is all the mosaic information. Okay. The next thing you want to do is create a drop shadow on that layer. So to create a drop shadow, you're going to go to the Effects pull-down menu and go down to Objects, Create Drop Shadow. Here's your drop shadow dialog box. We're just going to take the default values here and say OK. And it seems to have made everything darker, but it actually is in fact a shadow that has been created around every single one of the tiles in the mosaic. But take a look here in the Layers palette. We actually have a group now called Layer 1 and Shadow. This is what Painter has done. It's taken your layers and broken it up into two layers actually. We now have Layer 1, which is the original tiles, and the shadow layer. I close my canvas, you can see there's the actual shadow that is created by Painter. Just for demonstration, I'm going to put a layer below this group, and I'm going to fill it with a color. Let's pick our color. Let's say we're going to use white, and I'm filling, oops, I'm not on the layer, so it won't do anything. There we go. Now we've got it. Now you can really see the shadow there. I'm going to open that group up so you can see everything, and I can open up the tiles again so you can see what the tiles look like. The next step to creating the glow, I'm going to turn off the tile layer so you don't see it. I'm going to highlight the shadow layer. To create the glow, I'm going to choose a color to glow with, if you want to call it that. I'm going to pick yellow. I'm going to have my paint bucket tool, and I'm just going to click on some of the pixels there that are colored, and you can see it's changed everything that was gray in the shadow to yellow. Opening up my tile layer, you can see that now rather than a shadow, they glow. If I have the canvas or pseudo canvas layer 2, let's change that to a black background. It'd probably be more effective. Changing it to black. There we go. Now, maybe you don't like that yellow glow. We can always go back to that shadow. Turn it off so you can see it. And let's change it to kind of a bluish color. You can see we've changed the shadow color now, or the glow, and we've got a totally different effect right now. Okay, now we're going to do a little bit extra to make those tiles have a little bit more pop. So check that out in the next video, Mosaics 2, Mosaics and Beyond 2.